Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ngani Titan. And we're here on Nomonhan. Yes, Nomonhan. Yep. And I'm in the Boilermaker. We're tier 6. There is a tier 5 on both sides, but it's artillery. And the match is up to tier 7, so it's not too bad. There's tier 7 artillery as well. At least on our side. So, Boilermaker. I've been playing the Boilermaker, the Thunderbolt, which is the M4 A3E8 Premium, Tier 6 Premium, and the Boilermaker, which is of course an M4 Sherman. It's British Firefly variant with a 17-pounder gun, and the Cromwell B. Well, I've been playing the artillery as well. I play the artillery until I get 6 or 7 or 10,000 experience on it, and then I move on and play the others for fun, kind of, so to speak. And this is one of the games that I've had. Now, irrespective of whether it's a good idea or not, the southern spawning team will almost invariably go north in strength. Quite a lot of them will camp along this ridgeline from here out up to the northwest. Quite a few of them will some of them will infiltrate along the branch that's just north of me, but it's generally not a good idea because the enemy will make it to the river before you do. And once they're at the river, it's very hard to just it takes a while, because the thing is, you've got to make sure where the other enemies are. If there's enemies back in the high ground there around B7 or thereabouts, it can be very hard to dislodge them from the northern position, because the northern guys will catch you going across the northern end of the map, and the guys further back, or even if there's guys down on the ridge back, the middle central ridge pointing north, or the little spur sticking out of it towards the river, towards the the one there along the 7, E7, D7. Tanks along there as well can make life impossible if you're trying to flank or dig out the guys up here along where the medium tank is. However, some enemy tank destroyers have pushed in a fairly aggressive position, and generally I have found that position doesn't work. It's too far advanced, and you don't actually get decent shots from it, as much as you might think you would. And you're actually exposed to fire from the more southerly tanks along the ridgeline behind me, as well as the guys to the west of me, and sometimes even from the guys up here. Depending, you might get away with it if you had a lot of support behind you on the ridgeline opposite the river from where I am. Now, I did take a risk coming out here, but until we saw the Scorpions, there was nobody really shooting at us. And there were other tanks besides me. It's not a corner I would hang around in long, nor would I stay there on my own, because it is extremely vulnerable. Somebody will pop up. There's bound to be an enemy tank prowling around the ridgeline on the eastern side of the river, because there's always one. In fact, there's 2 of them have made it down into the town, or 2 or 3 have made it down into the city, but there's nearly always a tank on the actual ridgeline as well. However, there's a Scorpion up here as a one-shot kill, and it's worth risking a shot to get him. So as I'm chasing him, he's fleeing around the top of the rock. He comes over the top, misses his target, and commits suicide. The other Scorpion, or one of the other Scorpions, I think one of them is probably dead, has gone down into the river, and I would have gone over the top only for the fact that he's been supported from behind by a T-25-2, and the artillery are actually giving him pretty good support. Now, I know there's a T-34-88 behind me, but I reckon the T-34-88 is going to have troubles of his own, and is probably not going to be bothered with me too much. Although somebody did shoot me. Not too sure whom, because I think it was probably the T-34-88 actually, but anyway. For some reason the Scorpion was running away, and so busy running away he never turned his gun at me. Not sure why. Maybe his turret was jammed. I don't know. We won't worry about it. We'll be glad that he didn't do it. Now we have the T-25-2 hanging around up there. Now he's waited too long. He was in a decent position to give support to the Scorpions when they were there earlier on, but as soon as people started engaging the Scorpions individually in melee combat, so to speak, in close quarters combat, he should have vacated that position. While we're actually 2 tanks up, the advantage is currently with the enemy team because they're closer to our cap circle than we are to theirs, even though there's probably no opposition between our cap circle and theirs, but they are. There's the artillery, and we won't get a kill shot because it takes 2 shots to kill him, and I didn't have anything else loaded except regular armor piercing. There's a Hellcat. Okay, there's a Hellcat back here as well as the T-25-2. We've badly wounded the Hellcat. The T-25-2 is coming after me, so I'm going to back up. We put a shot through his turret front, and he's made the mistake of sort of hesitating there, and I have tanks supporting me from behind. So they managed to take him out. And they are starting to cap. Now we're in serious trouble because the guys that are in best position to reset the cap are people on the ridgeline, and they are hanging back to try and avoid being shot at by the 2 tanks pushing forward. So you have the medium tank on the western side. Now I think he has he's overextended himself. He's pushing forward too aggressively. He's been better off just waiting back. You often get this. Tanks are pushing forward to try and win and get kills and do damage when they'd actually have a better chance of winning the game if they hung, and they'd probably do more damage if they just hung back and let the enemies come to them. We have to get past those tanks. We have to get into the cap circle, and we have to do it fairly soon in order to win this game. Now it has helped that the Panther is gone. The heavy tank has managed to take out, I think, the medium that was extending beyond the ridgeline, and as long as he holds that position, there's nobody from the north. Well, okay, I think he's just gone. No, he's still there. Well, as long as he holds that position, I don't think anybody from the north can get past him. I think that tank destroyer that's closest to him is just on not in a place that he can come down off the cliff from. But the Yak Panther's in front of me, and he does the same thing. He gets fixated on the tank he can see rather than the priority, which is to reset the cap. Doesn't matter if he shoots that tank, he won't have time to reset the cap. However, I seem to have made it. Now, I get a critical hit on the Boilermaker, and I think that does it for the Boilermaker, and somebody else slaps the Boilermaker pretty hard from the ridgeline, and then he's gone. So now I'm lighting up the T-43, and I miss with the first shot. Now he's taking damage from the ridgeline, so I suppose strictly speaking I didn't need to do that. He's all I need to do is stay here and let him take further damage because the cap has been reset. We have now plenty of time to finish this guy off. And I managed to get the last shot in. The artillery's way off to the east of me somewhere because, well, I was last seen scurrying over the ridgeline on the eastern side of the map. But we're going to complete the cap circle to the north before anything else is going to be done. I think we've made game. We've managed to capture the circle, the enemy cap circle, and we have a victory. The artillery has managed to survive. He knew when to run away on time, this particular guy. So we got a base capture. We got over 1,200 direct damage. We did 1,000 assisted damage, and we 2 kills. We got a first-class mastery out of this. So I'm quite pleased with that. Came number 1 by experience. The Yak Panther was number 2, and yeah, it's a pretty good result. I think this game illustrates once again the importance of go back and reset the cap. Take responsibility. Do it yourself. Even if it doesn't seem likely that you're going to get there, there's always a chance somebody else might get that lucky shot in, even if they die doing it, or the artillery might get the lucky hit in, and then you might be able to clear the cap of enemy tanks. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. Feel free to share. And please comment if you feel the need to comment. And if you've not already done so, please subscribe. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.